Christ. So we say, when will we stop falling into the same trap? Oh, when will mankind learn to see that the further we stray from Jehovah's roadmap is the more we invite in misery. There's no better way in this world for peace and total rest. Tried and tested, Christ's way is the best. No philosophy, no creed could ever supersede what the Holy Bible, wonderful oracle, showing the people. Oh yeah, and two shall be in the field, one shall be taken. Oh yeah, two shall be at the wheel, only one will fly. Every stone shall be upturned and false doctrine shaken, while God's truth and His people are lifted high. Yeah, the Father never needed religion or systems of it. His word stands on its own and proves its worth. Yesterday, today, forever. God's promises changes never. And true government is when God leads the leader. Lead them on, yeah. True government is when God leads my leaders. Oh, oh yeah. Serious thing now. Well, hear the message in the rhythm. Oh yeah. Problem number one is so plain and simple. Religion, it has sentenced God to death. With falsehood and folly, they blindfold simple people for power and the profit that they get. Some would burn you at the stake, rock you and wheel you out for mere denial or even doubt. With violence and bribery they try. It's your soul they want to buy. But Jesus said, come freely, all who labor and are weary, come rest in me. Christ say, rest in me. And I say, two shall be in the field, one shall be chosen. Oh yeah, two shall be at the wheel, only one will fly. Man, every stone shall be upturned and false government shaken, while God's truth and His people are lifted high, so high. The Father never needed religion or systems of earth. His truth stands on its own and proves its worth. Yesterday, today, forever. God's statutes changes never. No man, true government is when God leads my leaders. Oh, oh yeah, true government is when God instructed the leader. You're listening to the Father. Oh, oh, oh. Will hear me lament for true government, from the president to the parliament, transforming the government, yeah. Affecting the vagrant on the pavement. We want a leader that is heaven sent. Oh, oh, oh. Mathematicians, physicians, politicians, atheists, etc. deny God or decide to just patronize. Hey, they tolerate Christianity as just a social matter. To bury, for marriage, and to baptize. Hey man, check the first two presidents of the United States of America. They were Orthodox, practicing Christians, because the mysteries of God's plan are nonsense to carnal man. The master say walk by faith, never to extrapolate, cause he's too great. I know he's too great. And I say two shall be in the field, one shall be chosen. Yeah, yeah. Two shall be at the wheel, only one will fly. Man, every stone shall be upturned and false government shaken to the root, while God's truth and His people are lifted high, so high. The Father never needed religion or systems of earth. No, His word stands on its own and proves its worth. Yesterday, today, forever, God stands and truth to represent me and you from the Christian crew. Without a word from God, what we gonna do? We want a man from the chosen few. Oh, 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 oh. Somebody love somebody. That is when God leads the leader. It was always through messengers of God's salvation who ruled over the earth's political fate. Oh yeah, but now thanks to the emergence of secular humanism, they separating the church from the state. Ask King David, Joshua, Samuel, Solomon, all these great folks. The new government without God is guesswork. Without prophetic words to guide, the leader bound to slip and slide. So you know when all is said and done, they got to know the Holy One to lead my generation, my congregation. Two shall walk in the field, one shall be chosen. Yeah, two shall be at the wheel, only one will fly. Man, every stone shall be upturned and false doctrine shaken, while God's truth and His people are lifted high. So high, the Father never needed religion or systems of earth. No, His word stands on its own and proves its worth. Yesterday, today, forever. God's promises changes never. No man true government is when God leading the leader, He leading the region, He leading my nation, my generation with a word for reformation. Me want the congregation sing, yeah, true government is when God leads my leader. When Jehovah needs to in charge of it, we go have a brighter future for we generation, for we children, yeah.
You're on the beat, boy.
Let me make a circle of love, yeah. Let me make a circle of love, yes. Let me make a circle of love, yeah. Na, no. The Atlantic Sea brought my forefathers to a place of paradise, and this foot on the sacred soil connected me to this blessed prize. Though when I see what we have become, my heart bleeds, God knows that it's not right. Cause one and all got to come along, brother, we will win if we all unite. Cause it's the same blood will run through my veins, and it's the poor man holding the stream. So let we let go the racial pains, greed and the fame, cause we're all the same. So when you see a brother fall, better pick him up, and when you hear a good news, better lift it up. Cause though the darkness is real and that's what we feel, there is a light in all of us. Let me see the lights of love, wave them hands for me. Let me see the lights of love, proud for the world to see. Oh yeah, now let me see the lights of love, wave them hands for me. Let me see the lights of love, proud for the world to see. All you come along, let me make a circle of love. 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 Love. Hands in the air if you know that you got the love. We come here to share it up. Heart clean and not a negative thinking. High time we live it up. Love's supposed to bring we closer. My crew to fall on the Vegas. All thanks and praise to the Father and love for we brothers. Cause it's the same blood we run through my veins, and it's the poor man holding the string. So let we let go the racial pains, greed and the fame, cause we're all the same. And when you see a brother fall, better pick him up. And when you hear a good news, better lift it up. Cause though the darkness is real and that's what we feel, there is a light in all of us. Let me see the lights of love, wave them hands for me. Let me see the lights of love, proud for the world to see. Oh yeah, now let me see the lights of love.
Share the live. Share the live. Mystery 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Let me make a circle of love. Let me make a circle of love. La 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 love. Love la la la. Let me make a circle. Let me make a
Well, good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. It's Monday morning. And you know when you hear that song, it's time for Constructive Talk with me, Pastor Google. And I'm going to try to do a program today that will incorporate people from outside of Trinidad and Tobago. So what I'm going to do today is, and I'm going to try my best to give you a real world talk show in the sense of what's happening outside of Trinidad and Tobago. You know, I always say, my father always says to me, and he grew me up telling me that Trinidad is not the real world. Because when you listen to people in Trinidad and you hear how they think, you realize that their mindset is not one of a real world. You hear people saying Trinidad is not a real place, you know, because of the mindset of how people think and talk. Today I'm coming up in a taxi, and I heard a caller call on a radio station and say, why we should have to be paying for gas when gas comes from the earth free. And I sat there and I said, I want to see if the radio announcers are going to allow this man to get away with this thing. So he said, why we must have to be paying for gas? We should not have to be paying for gas coming from the earth free. We shouldn't have to pay for that if we get it for free. But then how do we get it from the earth to our cars? Is it free to get it from the earth to the car? It has to go through a process. Has to. So my I sometimes wonder how people reasoning go. But today I'm going to try to get people from different parts of the world to tell us how is gas prices affecting them. Number one, BP belongs to who? BP is British Gas. Right? BP. Alright? BP belongs to Britain. I want to hear how people in Britain are being affected by gas prices. Also, I'm going to talk to somebody from America. I'm going to try to talk to somebody in Canada. I'm going to try to talk to somebody. I'm going to try to get hold of some of my friends who live in some of the different parts of the world. And I'm going to incorporate my listeners in Canada, in America, in England, wherever you are. Today's show is really targeted to those of you who are living outside of Trinidad and Tobago to give us an idea of what is happening in your neck of the woods where oil and gas is concerned and where gas prices is concerned, because somehow or the other we living in a bubble. All right? So we're going to get ready to go live. I know that I'm already on Facebook, but I want you to join me. I want you to share the live. Let me say good morning to all my people joining me already on Facebook. So I already have a viewer from Canada who has already joined into the conversation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow you guys to come in via voice note. I'm going to give the first half an hour or 20 minutes to people who are living outside of Trinidad and Tobago for them to call in and give us an idea of what is happening with the oil and gas, with the gas prices in different states, and like in Canada, and we have listeners in different parts of Europe who can call in and give us an idea of what's happening in those parts of the world. I want to hear from them today before I hear from my regular listeners.
For me, let me see the lights of love. Proud for the world, see all you come.
So if you're listening to me in Canada, in America, in England, Australia, wherever you're hearing my voice outside of Trinidad and Tobago, I want to invite you to send me a voice note and let me know give me an idea of your gas prices. Send me a voice note. And let me know how your gas prices are going.
All thanks and praise to the Father and love for the brothers. Cause it's the same blood we run through my veins. And it's the pump man holding the string. So let me let go the racial pains, greed and the fame. Cause we're all the same. And when
Alright, so I have a voice note coming in already. I hope that when you send me a voice note, tell me what part of the world you're listening and let me know how your gas price is going. Tell me, give me a ratio of how it has gone up, or if it gone up at all. All right, that's what I want to know. If your gas prices, if you're seeing a change in the way you have been purchasing gas over the, let's say, since the war has started, or since this disruption between Russia and Ukraine, have you seen any changes in your gas prices? All right, so I'm looking for a voice note, some people outside of Trinidad and Tobago. And when you send me your voice notes on 771-1791, remember you're putting in our code, which is 1-868-771-1791. I'm looking for you to tell me where you're sending me your voice note from and give me an idea of the ratio of how your gas prices went up during the time of this as they say, war. All right, so we're going to start. I have a voice note already.
Good morning, Pastor Google. I live in Florida. The gas price here right now is $4.99 a gallon. Yes, it went up. It went up from $3.09 to $4.99.
Right, so that's somebody from Florida. We want to thank you very much. Florida. So we have somebody from Florida who sent us a voice note, and they are saying to us that yes, it has gone up, and she has given the threshold and the difference in the prices that she has been paying. So I'm looking for a voice note now from Atlanta, from New York, from the UK. I'm going to try to get on to somebody from the UK who will be able to give us an idea of how gas prices is going in the UK. All right. You heard the lady said they still operate under the gallon. We operate under the liter. We operate under the liter. They operate under the gallon. What is the difference? Anybody know? But we're going to get into all of that later on. But I want to hear from my foreign listeners. So if you are listening to me, I'm giving you an opportunity now. You can call in if you wish, or you can send a voice note. If you live in Canada, you live in America, you live in England, and you want to send me a voice note this morning to give me an idea of if the gas prices is raising in that part of the world, I'm giving you that opportunity to share that with us today. All right? So we heard from somebody from Florida. Now, let's see where this person is from.
Pastor, I live in New York.
New York.
And the gas prices went up in the past 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
By $3.
$3.
And not only the gas prices went up, lights also.
Never.
Electricity bill also went up by about $2.50.
All right. So he's saying to us that not only gas went up, but electricity bill went up by $2.50 US. How much is that, TT, right? If you check it, 6-1. Huh? Huh? Whoa. So we're taking your voice notes. 77117. Let me thank my voice noters so far. So I had one from Florida. I had one from New York. I'm waiting for somebody from Canada. And I'm waiting for somebody from the UK. I'm waiting for somebody from Australia. Wherever in the world you're listening to me and you want to be a part of the discussion today, you want to share that information with us, I'll really appreciate it. So my people from Canada are waiting to hear a voice note from you. People from Canada, somebody from Canada, I'm sure somebody from Canada is going to send me a voice note letting me know how the gas prices have been going in Canada. Remember, you could join me on Facebook, the Street 919 FM Facebook page, also on YouTube, on Iwer TV. So I'm waiting to hear from my listeners and they in Canada. Somebody in Canada, I'm sure, is listening and can send me a voice note on 771-1791. 771-1791. You can send me a voice note and tell me how has the gas prices been going in Canada. While I wait for your voice note, let me see if I can get somebody from Europe, from the UK, to tell us how the gas prices have been going in the UK. Because sometimes, you live in a bubble where you feel that, nah, man, it's only in Trinidad this is happening. This is happening nowhere else in the world. All right? So, I have a voice note. Is that a voice note? Let me see. Who is this here? This looks like somebody from right here, man. All right. Remember, you can send me a voice note. I'm trying to get more people outside of Trinidad and Tobago to share with us how has it been going for them outside of Trinidad and Tobago. If they are getting the same issues or maybe they are not. All right. Let's hear. I want to hear. Okay, I'm not going to play that because I want voice notes from people outside of Trinidad and Tobago. All right, I'm looking for voice notes from people outside of Trinidad and Tobago to share with us what is happening outside of Trinidad and Tobago. But while I wait for the voice notes to come in, as I said before, I'm going to get someone from the UK. All right, somebody from the UK to tell us what is happening out there. Because some people are of the opinion that it's only in Trinidad and Tobago people are having these issues. And, there's some people who just want to be wicked and vindictive and just trying to destroy Trinidad and Tobago. So I am trying to give you a different perspective, a different outlook on how the world, what's happening in the world. And I think that, to be quite honest, is something that people need to start to broaden your awareness of what's going on. Please, and stop allowing somebody to give you emotional, you see the emotional outbursts that is leading some people down a rabbit hole. I think you need to stop allowing that. You need to. All right, so I'm going to get somebody on our YouTube and Facebook page. I've sent him the link. So, waiting for them to join me. For you to have an idea of what's going on in the UK. All right? In the meanwhile, as I said before, I'm looking for some voice notes from Canada. I didn't hear anybody from Canada sending their voice notes to let me know how is the gas prices looking in Canada. I know that I have some people in Canada listening to us or viewing us on Facebook. All right, so somebody's saying from Canada, let me see. All right, so Canada was $1.29 per liter, and now it is $1.76 for regular gas. All right, so somebody has sent me a message from Canada, but that's on our Facebook page. You know, and I like to get a voice note because, you know, some people might think that you're just saying that. All right, Pastor Google, the gas price raised by the day or two in New York. I paid this morning $4.49. So somebody from New York is saying to me, Pastor Google, the gas prices raised by the day or two. In New York, I paid this morning $4.49 US. Wow. Trinidad Tobago, I hope you all are listening, because I want to give you all a taste of how people outside of Trinidad think. All right? Giving you all a taste of how people outside of Trinidad and Tobago think, and I think it's interesting. So I'm going to give you someone sent me a video here, and I think it's a good thing to jump on the Facebook and look at this video. Jump on our Facebook page and our YouTube page and listen to what's happening in Poland. Let's see what's happening in Poland. So join me on Facebook and on YouTube now and take a look at what's happening in Poland, Trinidad and Tobago. Think you want to see it? Join me now. And let's hear what's happening in Poland. I think we need to wake up a little bit now. All right, listen to this. Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this.
Hello and welcome to today's video. Today is the 8th of March, and what I'm trying to do here is to show you the fuel prices currently in Poland. So 8th of March, I should point out the year as well, 2022, and fuel prices in the international scale are reaching, their all-time high. Here in Poland, they are at an all-time high, and as they are everywhere else. Nonetheless, I believe that fuel prices here are now the cheapest in the European Union. That mightn't be absolutely correct. There's a couple of countries that might have slightly cheaper prices, but that's what I think it is. Now, before I go any further, I need to point out also that the Polish government reduced the rate of VAT at the beginning of 2022, so VAT is now only 5%, and that's why you'll see such a huge difference between here and the bordering countries such as Czechia or Germany. The price normally before this, there was with Germany around, I would say, 5% difference. There was about 5% more. And I've chosen a BP to come to because that's an international company. But on the other side of the road, we have one of these self-service places, and that is just a touch cheaper. So at the self-service place where you've got to use it's unmanned point, and you have to use your credit card, and you've probably done it before. So there we have, diesel, that's 7 zloty 43, and here at BP it's 7.46. Now, very conveniently, there are approximately 5 zloty to €1 now. That's something else which has changed a great deal. The Polish currency has lost significantly since the war in Ukraine started. So that gives diesel at approximately €1.50. And I believe in Germany it's now closer to €2. So is that right? So I took that one as the first one. Now, next one I'm going to look at here is on the gasoline, petrol. So that's the third one down. That's Euro Super 688. So that's 10% cheaper than diesel. Now that's something new. It wasn't always. Sorry, once upon a time, diesel was cheaper. It was roughly the same price, or just a touch, and just maybe a couple of percent cheaper than diesel now. So we've got 10% cheaper than. So that's about €1.35. And if we've got the other place over there, it is 683. And the final one I want to show you is the one at the very bottom, which is gas. And auto gas, so that's LPG, liquid petroleum gas, and that 332. I have never seen it that high. Of course, I don't buy it that often. I use it for cooking and heating in my motorhome, and so I have to buy it once every 6 or 7 months, something along those lines, a couple of times a year. So. That they are the prices now. I have a lot of people contacting me and asking what they can do to help in Ukraine. Now, I put up a video on my history site about those volunteering to actually go there. And
all right. So you just heard a gentleman talking about what's happening in Poland. So I have somebody who's going to be joining us from the UK to give us an idea of what's happening. Right, so I have somebody who's going to be joining us from the UK who's going to give us an idea of what is going on in the UK where gas prices are concerned. So you all are accustomed hearing from Bishop Mark Nichols. I would call him from time to time to give us an update and an idea of what's happening in the UK, so that we'll have a world view of what's going on, so that we wouldn't be in the Caribbean and not being aware of what's happening in the world, because we're living in a global village. We hear people saying it all the time, that it's no longer people are so far away. We are close. We are very close. And you won't understand it until you hear from people who are not living in Trinidad and Tobago. So this morning I have on the phone line, I know that he's going through a grieving moment. I think he had a funeral to do, but he took time out of his busy schedule to share with us in Trinidad and Tobago what is happening in the UK, because the UK is part of, well, we know that they have Brexit now, but the UK is still a part of the Union, in the sense of they are part of the whole dynamics of what's going on. So Bishop Mark, how are you, sir?
Yes, I'm great. It's lovely to be given the opportunity. We're just coming from the funeral, which I just finished conducting. So we're going to the interment, or the reception, actually, to the reception. But I've also got here my pastor. We call him the logistic pastor. He knows what's going on, Pastor Hall. So he's driving alongside me. So he will also be able to give all those listeners an update of what's happening here in London. Fuel prices are going up high. So it's worrying. It's worrying, because every time you put the nozzle in the petrol tank, you say to yourself, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord, that you're able to put petrol in, because it's crazy. It's crazy.
What is the price?
Crazy.
What are the price? What are the prices right now? Give us before the war and now with the war is happening. What is the price difference?
Well, it's something like 20 pence price difference so far. The prices have gone up to about 170 odd for diesel. Yep, £1.70 odd for a litre for diesel, and about £1.60 when it's £1.65, £1.63 for unleaded.
Ooh.
Now you got to remember that before all of this, we were looking at prices as low as £1.47 for unleaded, to about £1.50, £1.52 for diesel, and then rising probably to about £1.50. But this is a steep rise over such a short period of time. and it means that you have to really consider some of the pumps. Sometimes you go to the petrol stations and they will say no diesel today or no diesel at this time. And it's not because, we don't have that all the time, but it's because it's a time of day, which is surprising, because in the middle of the day, when you would expect the pumps to be full and they say there's no diesel, or even worse, the petrol station is closed. Now, it's not as if there's a run, but they're obviously doing things to maintain and control the flow of petrol, and the pumps run out a little bit quicker because people were taking precautions. It's not as bad as a few months ago, but definitely with the price rises, people are definitely considering their journeys, most definitely, and filling up and keeping the petrol in for a lot longer.
Do people would, there are some people who would like to find out, do you all have any refineries in the UK?
Our refineries, no, we don't have refineries in the UK. Our petrol comes from abroad.
Right.
Our petrol, we don't source internally at all.
Right.
For a long time now, so yeah, not at that level.
Right. Okay. And has it affected food prices in any way?
Yes. Because obviously, as the prices certain foods will go up and have gone up. I think someone was telling me recently, even in the takeaways, they noticed that takeaway food is costing more. And you're thinking, well, they're suffering as well because their supplies are getting slower to come through, and they have to feed the costs onto the consumer. So even the takeaway prices have risen over a short period of time. There is a blessed hope, no, because they're hoping that these talks that are going through at the moment, because everything is dictated by the wholesale price of petrol. So remember, they're gauging themselves by what's going to happen today. So we're feeling the effects of the price rises now because of the effect of the supply tomorrow. And they're hoping that the talks that are going on will ensure that the prices will ease. Plus, with more countries coming on and saying that they're going to increase their production and their provision, then that will ease the supply strain.
Okay.
And that, again, will in turn affect the prices today.
Right.
So we're looking for the prices that have gone up so high, so steeply, to come back a little bit and then slow off. But that will be witnessed over the next literally 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
We should be a witness to that.
Okay. All right. Appreciate that. Well, I just wanted to have the listeners be aware that the crisis or the situation with gas prices in other parts of the world, it's a real thing, and it's not only affecting Trinidad and Tobago, but it's affecting all over the world. And sometimes when people hear it from people like you who living there, they will understand that it's not something that people making up. It's something that's real.
Definitely.
Beautiful. Well, Bishop, I want you to give that young man my contact so I can contact him from time to time also.
Of course. It's real. We are feeling it. It's happening. And I think the church has to consider how it supports its members, its community. Doesn't mean we should stock up. Doesn't mean we should calculate our travel before we leave home.
Yes.
Do we add it into our expenses if we're doing business? Do we pass that on to others? So it's real. We've never seen prices so high. So, yep, everything you heard today, we're feeling it here in London.
All right. Thank you very much, Bishop. Thank you very much, Pastor, for sharing with Trinidad and Tobago what's happening in the UK.
Thank you, man of God. All the best.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. God bless. See, you all just heard for yourself. You all just heard for yourself what's happening in the UK. All right? I'm going for a break. I'm going to come back. When I come back from the break, we're going to talk a little more. I'm going to try to get somebody to get on Zoom from America. I'm going to try to get somebody from somewhere else and talk. We just looking at what's happening outside of Trinidad and Tobago. Okay? That's all I'm trying to do. Just trying to, people saying, I wouldn't even go there. But I'm trying to broaden your mindset and give you another view of what's happening in the world today. All right, Trinidad and Tobago. So don't touch your dial. Stay right here. Coming up next is the news with Miss Vanessa Thomas.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
The deals are at East Side Plaza, located at number 32.